Good morning. Here is Mahmoud Al-Tayyib, an Egyptologist, English and German speaking tour guide from Luxor. Today I would like to share this is a sightseeing, and that is a highlight of the western side of Luxor. That's known West Bank of Luxor, where are the tombs of Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Valley of the Nobles, Workers' Valley, plus temples. And the functions of temples, for example, that is like Queen Hatshepsut temple, the most famous, Ramesses II temple, Medina Habu Ramses III temple, like the afterlife cult temple, and included this list. Our temple today is King Amenhotep III, known as local name the Memnon statue, colossal statue of Memnon. In fact, what we can see, the two massive statues, 18 meters high, represent the King Amenhotep III. The left-hand side is Amenhotep III himself, and the second one represents the king, the double or the unseen spirit of the king, known the Ka statue. In fact, when we talk about the King Amenhotep III, is the father of Akhenaton, grandfather of Tutankhamun, the king of the 18th dynasty, 1390 BC, who ruled Egypt 41 years. According to the tradition of the rulers of New Kingdom means 1560 BC until 1100 BC. The most famous kings rulers ruled Egypt, known as the Golden Era, like Ramses II, Ramses III, Queen Hatshepsut, Amenhotep III, Akhenaton, Tutankhamun, Harumheb. All of them dated back to this Golden Era. The king of 18th dynasty, again, is father of Akhenaton, grandfather of King Tutankhamun, had this temple as afterlife called temple. And according to the tradition, when the king got the throne, he has three different projects, three different buildings. Number one, the tomb were located at Valley of the Kings, cut into the mountain, cut into the cliffs, known rock-cut tombs. And our king has a tomb, WV, and that is usual. That is when you go to Valley of the Kings, you can see KV means King's Valley. In order to, there are two valleys, two different places, two different sites. The main one, the main valley is known the eastern one, and next to the mountain another valley known the western one. The eastern one, or the main one, there are 60 tombs, and got the KV means King's Valley, according to the numbering of the tomb dated back to 1826 by Gardiner Wilkinson, English archaeologist. The Western Valley, known as WV, our king, his tomb is not KV, but got WV, the Western Valley, number 22. Had been discovered by the French, that is the scholars of Napoleon Bonaparte troops in the end of the 18th century, 1799. In fact, that had been discovered by the French. And the second project of the king, or the second building, his or her afterlife cult temple, like Queen Hatshepsut has Dir al-Bahari or Hatshepsut temple. It's well known. That is known the afterlife cult temple, mortuary temple, funerary temple, and so on. But the most perfect is the afterlife cult temple, because there is cult temples dedicated to the god, but the afterlife cult temple is dedicated to the king or the ruler or queen, plus some chapels dedicated to gods and goddesses. Like Queen Hatshepsut temple, there is a goddess Hathor chapel, there is Anubis, the jackal chapel, God Ra chapel, God Amun-Re chapel, and so on. So that is a king sharing as afterlife called temple dedicated to his or her soul. Our king had this temple that is known Qom al-Hittan or Qom al-Hitan, according to King Weeks in his book, described that the place Qom al-Hitan. In order to, that is when the temple had been destroyed because of earthquake, and the earthquake some people refers to 27 BC and some say that is before, maybe or probably according to some evidences that is before the 19th dynasty. Say that is before 1300, that's earthquake and so on. There is some reason, maybe that's in next video I will share, that is some points confirm that what I said. In fact, when we talk about the afterlife cult temple of King Amenhotep III, is a temple 700 meters length, extended from east to west by 500 meters, and the two statues which represent the King Amenhotep III, 18 meters each of quartzite stone. Look at the statue, left hand side represent the king himself, and the two small statues represent the two females, the mother of the king and the wife of the king. Here in the left hand side destroyed, but another statue is the double statue or Ka statue or unseen spirit, representing King Amenhotep III sitting on the throne, the cemetery as you see. And next to the leg there is the female statues, represent the two females are the wife Tai, Queen Tai, as Amenhotep Weret Merit F Tai Ankhti, that is the main wife or the wife of King Amenhotep III. Merit F, his beloved, Tai Ankhti, given life. And the second one represent his mother, and get the title next to the leg is the Mutnisut Weret, the greatest mother of the king. Amenhotep means that's Mutnisut, the mother's king, and then Amenhotep, the royal wife, Weret, the greatest one, Motomoya, the wife of King Thutmose IV, because of Thutmose IV is father of Amenhotep III. So the story of the statue I will back, but before this point I would like to share the third project or the third building the king built structures or erect temples, erect chapels, obelisk in the post-temple Karnak temples and Luxor temple. That's like a cult temple dedicated to the main god Amun-Re. Again, the king has three different buildings or three different projects. Number one, the tomb in Valley of the Kings, and the second one is the afterlife cult temple, like this example, and the third one at the eastern side, Karnak or Luxor, like King Amenhotep III had been the structure had been built by Amenhotep III in Karnak and Luxor, and so on. Very important thing about the statue known as Memnon, I would like to back to the main point. The two statues had been cut of the quartzite stone originally, represent the king Amenhotep III in the sitting position, and you can see some destroyed in the face because the facing dated back to early Coptic era when they were against the paganism, and as you see this is some damage. And about the second statue, which known as Memnon statue, according to some reference referring to 27 BC happened earthquake and the time of Greek Roman. The Roman ended the Greek in that 31 Cleopatra the Great, 31 BC, and 27 start the Roman era. 27 BC, the Roman, and the visitors from Greek and Rome used to come to Luxor as travelers, or the people coming by the Roman Empire. They realized and found the statue early morning. Getting a statue, there is some echo, some sounds comes off the statue. The statue, what I refer to this right-hand side, and they describe it like a Memnon statue, or the mother of Agamemnon, the Greek hero, Troy, according to the myth of Troy. That is, she is crying, she's sad because she missed her son. That is the story. And in 193, the Caesar Septimus Severus, Emperor Septimus Severus, the Roman king or the Roman ruler, decided to restore the statue or build. Restoration work by Septimus Severus, some reference refer to, he filled the cracks, but in fact the cracks had been happened because of or made by the earthquake, and because of the winds goes through, get a sound and echo. But Septimus Severus, what he done, not only filled the cracks, but he rebuilt the upper register of the statue. If you notice, until the knee or the arm of the king and the upper part, it's not one single piece, because that is two statues had been cut from Jabal al-Ahmar, the Red Mountain, were located east of Cairo, al-Abbasiyah, of quartz stone. But you can see and notice and realize the statue, where we stand now, the upper register is built by blocks, and the lower register until the knees, it's one single piece. So the upper one is rebuilt by granite stone. To not be confused, this is statue of quartz, and this is statue, the lower register, or that the lower part of the statue cut of quartz, one single piece, but the upper one rebuilt and restored by Septimus Severus in the end of the 2nd century. And since this date, that is, the sound is of nothing more. But how we got this information, the statue and echo and so on, because of, as you see here, there is some graffitis had been left and inscribed by travelers, and the most famous graffiti had been left here by Hadrian, who described he came 2 days. The first day he failed to hear the sound, but the second day he succeeded in, and that is to confirm that is story, and a lot of graffiti by ancient Greek inscription and had been translated and talking about the same topic, the same story of it. You can see the pedestal, there is some graffiti here, and you can see the level of the Nile flood, because that had been sunk, and the temple itself by a German mission, the excavation and restoration work since 1994 by Dr. Horek from Germany. And there is some restoration. They found a lot of statues, a lot of the foundations of the hypostyle hall and so on. The point is, when we talk about the building plan of the temple, like the two massive statues, what is the next? In Luxor temple, for example, we can see Ramses II statues, and next to the statues there is a pylon, the two buildings, massive towers in between the entrance of the temple. Here in this temple, according to Christian Leblanc, who mentioned that is the pylon of King Amenhotep III had been built of mud bricks, and the mud bricks had been recycled, had been melted because of the Nile flood, because they didn't find any remains or any foundation of stone or the pylon of stones, but in fact was the mud bricks. Not then the first open courtyard, then the second pylon, then the second open courtyard, and then the hypostyle halls, then the sanctuary, and next to the palms you can see dead palms. That is palms. You can see the background is the Gornet Mar'i tombs, the nobles' tombs, and the most famous tomb there is TT40 Amenhotep III of the supervisor, or you can describe it, the ruler of the Nubian Kash land, dated back to Akhenaten and Tutankhamun. Very important thing, as mentioned, the two ladies are here, and in you can see in the middle there is a tail, and the second statue there is some statue of a daughter or son according to a side look here. That is like a usual traditional, like Ramses II statue, his sons and his daughters in between the legs. But here we can see the two ladies, the two female, the mother and the wife. Mahmoud al-Tayyib from the Memnon statue, Temple of Amenhotep III. Thank you. Come to visit Egypt.